people, and you're welcome to the Parashot of this morning. The Parashot that we're discussing this morning is Tazria and Metzora. It's a double Parashot, and as I said, we're going to look at it from a different perspective this morning. And I subtitle it, the subtitle of the Parashot of this morning are these: jealousy, desire, and honor. Jealousy, desires, and honor. What are the things that these three things have in common concerning the Parashot of this morning? I repeat again: jealousy, desire, and honor. What are those? Why are these three things so common in people that have this issue of Tzaraat? So that we want to discuss about this morning. Human beings need social interaction to exist on many levels. For example, personal relationships, including family and friends, and professional, including your business, your academic interaction, and so forth. So, because we are what? We are a social being, right? We need interaction to interact with one another and to be able to, to dwell in peace with one another. In this week Torah reading, the Parashah Tazria and Metzora, we read about the law on Tzaraat, which people mistranslated as leprosy, because in the English language they don't have the word to do what to qualify what in the Hebrew understanding that we have. Because in the Hebrew understanding, you can see that these are three diseases. It's not only one. And the translator does provide everything as one. So and in the Hebrew sense, we can see that we have axis, we have sepahah, and we have baher. So these are the three diseases that affect the skin of a human, especially when that person commits sins. All right. So, and this is what I result into Tzaraat. And the Metzora, which is the leper. A leper is called a Metzora in Hebrew. The Mechilta lists 10 different reasons or sins why a person would develop Tzaraat and end up being quarantined outside of the camp. The number one and most famous reason was the speaking of Lashon Hora. This is a direct result of someone wrongfully speech and the misuse of the gift of the speech, forcing a person to cover their mouth and face by being sent away and not being part of Am Yisrael. If one were to analyze all the other reasons the Mechilta list, one will be able to connect and associate those sins that stem from the mouth to the disposition of the total face. What am I saying here? We say that for someone to have Tzaraat, the main problem is because of the misuse of the gift of speech. And the Torah gave us the understanding, and even though in the Talmud said that the gift of speech is a gift from God. Speech is a gift. How many animals that the Lord God created has a very developed, speech, ability to speak? They communicate in their own animal way, in a we call it remedial way, in a primitive way, right? They do communicate, yes, but for a developed, sophisticated language, none of them, only man. And so therefore, as a gift that the Holy One, blessed be He, has given us, we have to be able to use this gift in a more positive way, not in a destructive way, not in a negative side. And so therefore, when someone misuses that gift, the result of the misusing of that gift is Tzaraat. And Tzaraat can be, because when people translated it as leprosy, it doesn't make sense, because leprosy does not affect a cloth. Neither can leprosy affect a house. It only affects a human being. But in the understanding of our people is that the leprosy affects the clothes of a person, and it also affects the house of the person. It's a disease that progresses, upward. First of all, that Tzaraat appeared on the cloth. And if the person does not repent, it appears in his house. If he does not repent, it now appears on his skin or on his flesh. So God is saying that, okay, you see Tzaraat in your clothes, oh, I sinned. Let me make amendment and come back and repent of my Lashon Hora, or of one thing or the other that or of my ego, for example. And if you did not see that, you don't to listen, you progress into the house. In this case, the house has to be pulled down, stone by stone, because you didn't listen. And even now, if in this case you don't care, okay, you now afflict the person on the flesh. So let's see how can we understand, because now as in the 21st century, we have a kind of different understanding about this. So how can we now be able to use this to benefit us in this century of ours? Parashot Tazria, which describes the affliction of Tzaraat in these three particular areas. Number one, as I said, the house, the clothing, and the body. The rabbis explain that the progression of the punishment begins slightly only to the person's house. If not corrected, we end up physically on the body. Once Tzaraat appears on the person's body, he must be removed from society until he fixes himself up, purifying himself from the transgression that causes the onset of the Tzaraat affliction. The Gemara Elkin 16b inform us, that is in the Talmud, inform us that there are different sins that may be the cause of Tzaraat. They translated it as leprosy, right? They are one, murder, swearing in vain, illicit relationship, hastiness, stealing, stinginess, and of course, Lashon Hora. Part of the rehabilitation of the individual requires that the person afflicted be taken out of the camp. It is as if he is being removed from society and the world around him. So why is this so? Because the person that, according to all these things that we just mentioned, the person that uses his mouth wrongfully, negatively, right? What is the idea that this person is doing? What is he doing? This person is trying to cause rift between a person and the person, right? And so because you see Madam A and Madam B being friendly, and you don't like that. You want you to be the friend of Madam A, and so therefore you went to Madam B and spoiled the name of Madam A, right? So that you can divide them, so that you can be associated only with Madam A, and so therefore you are separating people. Because you separate people, that sin comes upon you, and you are being separated from society. As I was saying yesterday during Erev Shabbat, it's an expanded, or I can use the word a contract. Sorry, a kind of a contract of exactly the same thing that happened in Israel. That is in Egypt. Why? Because in Egypt, the Egyptians planted to do what? Their plan was to kill us all the way. And God said, no, this won't work. God changed it against the Egyptians on a large scale. But in this one, it's a small scale, right? Whereby, because you want to turn people against one another, thereby making them enemy, God will remove you out of society for you to face the consequence of your action. Yes, Rabbi said, my wife was giving a comment yesterday when we were discussing about the Parashot. It is that God is not punishing you because God is not pointing finger at you. God is not saying you bad, you evil, blah, blah, blah. No. That is not the idea of the punishment. The idea of the person being removed from the society and outside of the camp is an idea of the person going for what? It's a kind of a healing. It's not a punishment. If you look at it from another perspective, it's for you to go and heal your what? Your mouth. It's a kind of a system. Okay, go outside, go and think of what you did. Go and reflect on your action. go and see that your action is not right, it's not good, and thereby you become healed. You heal yourself from that disease, the disease of Lashon Hora. That is the idea. So it's not that God is kicking you out and is rejecting you. No, this is not the idea of you, of God, and banishing you away from the society. It's the idea of you, introspecting yourself. Why did this thing happen? I mean, for those that have brain, that's what I'm saying. But there are people who don't have common sense. We call it what? Common sense. But there's a lot of things that in this world is not that common sense is no longer common. It's not expensive because they don't have common sense. They only see things in a what? In a negative way. He's punishing me. He's doing this. But don't you look at it from the way that God is trying to do what? Bring you back as a whole, complete. That God is trying to heal you from yourself. But if you look at it that God is trying to heal you from yourself, then you say, oh, God, thank you because you love me. That is what you care about me. There's a saying in my language. If your husband rebuke you, be happy. But you say, actually, I will say in my language, say, fortunate is the woman that her husband rebuke her. That's what it says. But miserable is the woman that her husband keep his mouth shut because he doesn't love her. Because the plan says, okay, I see you, okay, keep my mouth shut, go enter inside the hole. Since you want that, okay, go ahead. But when your husband rebuke you, rebuke you in love, when we say, darling, this is not right, don't let us do this, come this way, let us do this, I'm telling you, you are the most fortunate woman on the planet. Because both of you are one. Because he sees you as himself. Because he knows that if you enter into the pit, it technically is the one in the pit. Because he will have to come now again and dig you out. I want to do double job. I don't want to do that. It's better for me to tell her, don't go to it because I don't want to come and start digging you out of that pit. My wife will tell me a story about it. Why do you always cause trouble? I tell her every time. I say, you know what? The job of the man is to cause trouble. And the job of the woman is to rescue the man. That's why they call her the helper. She laughed, she got offended. God didn't call you, you are not the helper. So you know what? The helper? That is one person getting into trouble and you coming to rescue the person. That's your job. That's why you are the helper of the man. So this is the idea. The idea is that when the man sees his wife, that is not doing what is right, and the man is so concerned, you are the most fortunate, I'm telling you. But if your husband sees you are doing something that is bad, and he just closes his eye, he doesn't see anything, hey man, you are the most miserable. Because when anything happens to you, it will never even come to rescue you. It won't come. It will just be there, complain. Nothing more. So this is the same idea that our sages are passing on this morning concerning Parashot, Tazria and Metzora. I would like to connect one another area of the Hebrew thought to that of being removed from the world. Rabbi Samuel Kobina, in his book, in his Sefer Olat Tamid, explained this in the Mishnah, that is in Pirkei Avot 4:28. He said this as follows: jealousy, physical desire, and the pursuit of honor remove a person from the world. I repeat again. Pirkei Avot, the speech or the way or the speech of the fathers, as follows. Chapter 4, verse 28 of it in the Talmud. It said this: jealousy, physical desire, and the pursuit of honor remove a person from the world. Remember the key word, pursuit of honor. In his head, nothing, only pursuing. They say money is bad. Is it true? No. But the pursuit of it is bad. Let the money come. You don't pursue it, let it come unto you. But the pursuit of honor. Right. So let's see what the rabbi says here. Rabbi Hobinah described three individuals in the Tanakh who were afraid of being removed from the world. A common word is this, Vayekad, which means, and he trembled. He used it in each of the three instances. Isaac Avenu in Bereshit chapter 27, verse 33. Is shaking after he apparently gave the firstborn blessing to the wrong brother. He believed he had ruined his life and felt as though he was leaving the world. After the blessing of Jacob, Isaac was terrified. Hey! What is this I have done? I have given the wrong blessing to the wrong person. I have given it with all my heart. It's as if, and his tremble is as if he was being removed from the world. Let's see. In the book of Ruth, chapter 3, verse 8, Boaz is settled in the middle of the night and feared he might be accused by some wrongdoing. Thereby concerned he will lose his portion in the world, in this world. And that is when, Boaz, when Ruth came and the mother-in-law told her, what to do. Just go and open his leg and sleep there. Boaz was afraid because he was a man of honor, was a wealthy man. Hey, what are people going to say if they see this woman here? They will say, hey, the world that we live in now. Anytime I say that, my wife gets angry with me. Something happened 15 years ago. Something happened 20 years ago. Something happened 10 years ago. You didn't speak. Suddenly, you just remember. I went to the news. The man is bad, the man did this, the man. And the woke ideology, I'm not against women. I love women, and you know me as a rabbi here. I love my women. I love, because they're our mothers. But in the case where you want to get someone to ruin the name of somebody because you need financial gain, that's where the problem is. Why didn't you report when that something happened 10 years ago or 5 years ago? Why are you now reporting now and the news will bring it out and they say the man is guilty? The court is not even decided. In the public opinion, you are guilty. And then they fine you $10 million. And the man put the money, put it in her pocket and is happy. Then later on, they come and see it is false. Because it happens to many people, great men. There was a man who wanted to do what? Stand for the presidency of France some couple of years ago. He was accused in New York of doing something wrong, which was a complete lie, because they don't want him to be the president. That ruined that man's chance, and then at the end, the woman called now said, "Oh, I lied." Come on, someone's life is ruined. Who did it? They paid out money to say it. So that is what I'm trying to say. If somebody did something wrong, yes, of course, he should face the consequence of his action. But don't ruin people's life because of that. So here it is. Boaz was very afraid. He said, no. Stay here, because he was a man of honor. He doesn't want that this slave woman or this woman that comes from another town, they say, I am abusing her. Wait. Let us see what is going to happen. The third case is in the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 21, verse 2, where Ahimelech, the Kohen, hurried to greet David Hamelech and was concerned why David was traveling alone with no one accompanying him. Each one of these three great men are the subject of one, of jealousy, number two, of desire, and number three, of honor. Jealousy is associated with Isaac because of his two sons, where there were a great jealousy among them. There was jealousy between Esau and Jacob. Jacob jealous his brother a lot. Oh, he's the firstborn. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know how to use the power of the firstborn. For me, I know how to use the power of the firstborn. This guy doesn't understand the gift that he has. In my language, we said a man has a head but has no crown or has no cap. But there's another one that has a cap but has no head. Is the idea of both of them. One has a crown, which is Esau. He has a crown, but he doesn't have a head to put the crown. God, his brain, God, I'm sorry, he's somewhere else. While the other one, Jacob, has a head. He's thinking very well, God get everything, but there is no crown on it. So what do I do? Because I have a head and I can understand, I know how to manipulate, I take the crown, put on my own head because you don't know how to use your own head. You see? So let's see now. Second one, Boaz, having Ruth lay at his feet, is the subject of a desire. See? If that man wanted to do anything with Ruth, he can do it. Because he has power, he has wealth, But because he was able to do what? To control his desire. Wait, let's do it the proper way. Let's do it the way of the Torah. Many people, they say, you know what, I want to marry you, for example. Okay, but they're not doing the marriage or the relationship in the way of the Torah. And then if you don't do it in the way of the Torah, where the consequence comes, don't blame anybody, you blame yourself. But you have to do your relationship in the way of the Torah. There's a reason why the process is there. The process is not just for fashion. There's a reason. And that is why we see, I'm sorry too, women, they abuse men a lot. And that is why the men are now the woman, right? The role is changed, right? In those days, in the days of my fathers, even though in my early days, the men pursue the woman. Hey, I love you, I want you to be my wife, they do everything, right? But now, it is a reverse process. It is the woman that pursues the man. Even though the man thinks, if he want to kill me, or people are afraid, because you can't even speak to a woman now, you abuse her. Then she takes you to the court, and automatically, she's a winner. That you can't defend you. Number one, the woman. Number two, the baby. Number three, the dog. Now, the last person is the man. So tell me, who in his right mind will want to talk to a woman? I see a woman, I run. Because I don't want trouble. I better close my pants. Nothing happens because I'm shaking in my pants. Because if I talk, the next time is jail. I don't know what is going to happen. You see how madness we've turned the whole world. It doesn't make sense. Right? Now, let's look at the final one. And David was challenged with honor as the people sang a song relating how Shaul killed in the thousands and why David killed in his 10,000. The people are saying, hey, Shaul killed 10,000, Shaul killed 1,000, for example. And the people came, they shout, David, kill 10,000. And the wife said, you see, I told you, they don't like you, eh? You are the king, and your servant, he killed 10,000. And they're telling you killed 1,000. Who is great? Hey. And the man, because he's a foolish man, allowed the word to start manipulating in his head. Right, so, jealousy is typically generated because of money and the estate of others. Jealousy is always about money and estate. About wealth, about estate. The property, right? This is represented by the house becoming struck with leprosy or with Tzaraat due to it representing the owner's wealth. In that case, the house or at least the stone must be removed so as to remove that Tzaraat, that jealousy. That stone, that house of jealousy that you have built in your spiritual life, in your life. You have to begin to dismantle the stone one by one for the Tzaraat to be removed. Because the Tzaraat, remember how put it in your mind, the picture of how a house is built. the stone are put on each other, and the cement is inside to seal the stone. If you don't put the stone one by one, the Tzaraat is like a bacteria, a virus. It's so tiny, it can hide, and by the time if you don't do it well, it regenerates again. So that's why he said the stone has to be removed one by one and be washed and be clean. In OR, what do we do in OR? That is operating room in the hospital. The instrument that they use for Mr. B is what they use for Mr. What they use for Mr. A is what they use for Mr. B is what they will use for Mr. C, and so on. But how do they do it so that the disease, it doesn't transfer disease or bacteria or virus from one person to another? It is completely sterilized, right? It's the same idea. That instrument is sterilized, that everything will, first of all, they discontaminate. Sorry, they clean. Second, they discontaminate, and thirdly, they sterilize. You see the process, because they cannot be throwing all those instruments away. It's a lot of money, right? So, and so that to kill everything completely, the same idea here. If you don't remove the stones one by one to clean it and rebuild it back, it will never happen. That virus is still there. You have to remove it completely. So, let's continue what it says here. In that case, the house, or at least the stones, must be removed, so as to remove that jealousy. Rabbi Yohanan in Gemara Shabbat 113 in Talmud states this again. Describes a person who is honored as someone who has fine clothing is honored in order to heal and rid himself of chasing honor. The clothing that gives such a honor is plagued with leprosy and must be destroyed. Example I want to say is about, in the land of Persia, right? When the king Assyria said, "Who can I honor?" And Haman came and said, "Oh, who can the king honor?" In Israel, he's thinking, "Who can the king honor than me?" He said, "Let the king put this royal robe, the clothes, put the clothes to right on the altar." The same idea here, right? So, if a person clothes is affected with Tzaraat, that clothes, that spiritual clothes that is affected with Tzaraat, even though physical clothes, has to be removed and be burned. Completely burned. And when it's burned, the virus, the disease, all those things will die together, will be burned together with it. That is the idea. Understanding the picture program that our Savior is telling us, that with pride, with honor comes a clothing. So how do I, there's a psychologist about clothing. My wife always quarrel with me about that. When I see you as a person, when you come, let's for example, the first time of meeting a person. That's like in English they say first impression is very, very important, extremely important. I'm telling you. So when a man comes and I look at you from a little from the head down, right? You look at the clothing, the appearance. You say, "Oh, he's a respectful man. She's a respectful woman." A woman is going on the dating. A man is going on the dating. For example, the common one. And the man, for example, is a good, is a well-to-do man. He went to go and wear a cloth that a beggar is that stink. The woman, even it doesn't matter, because the woman, even though no matter how handsome you are, the woman comes in, because it stinks, right? But if it's not that, I want to know if the woman loves you, because if the man doesn't even know you, right? So when you come with nice clothes, with good things, you can sit down with perfume, can sit down, communicate and talk. Then the woman can know you now from your speech, from who you are, from your mind. Right? So it's very, very important, your first impression. The same idea here. That the Holy One is teaching, or our sages are teaching us through the wisdom of the Holy One that has given them. So, the last of the three is tava in Hebrew, which means desire. That is tava. Or lust in this case. Actually, sin with the body. The other one is not with the body, but tava is the sin with the body. In this case, a sexual sin, that is desire, right? So, if the individual does not repent, his body is afflicted and he must go outside of the camp to be away from people to whom he might lust after. We therefore remove him from society in order to teach him to control his desire. That is the idea. Controlling of the desire. Everything involved in this world, God said in the book of Bereshit, is created for man, right? That's what our father said. Our father said, I'll give you everything. It's under your what? Control. Look at the statement. Everything I created is under what? Your control. Did God say, everything I created is controlling you? No. You should be able to control everything in your life. You should not allow anything to control you. The day anything control you, the day sipini, the French say, you finish. You do not allow nothing under the sun to control you. You should control them all. That is the idea. You should not allow pride to control you. You should not allow desire to control you. You should not allow anything to control you. You should be in control. And that is why the Holy One, blessed be He, told Moshe, according to the understanding of the Torah. God said, put the stick on the ground. And they threw the stick on the ground, and the stick became serpent. What is the understanding of the word to become serpent? God is teaching Moshe something. Moshe was afraid, scared. And God said, oh, don't be afraid. Take it on the tail, and it become a stick in your hand. And you took it from the tail, and it become a stick in his hand. What is God saying? I'm going to give you power. I'm going to give you knowledge. I'm going to give you wisdom. But you should control the wisdom, the knowledge. You should not allow the knowledge to control you. And we saw in the Torah what happened to him. He allowed the knowledge at the end to control him. He said, will I give you water from the rock? Now say the knowledge is mine. Now look at the statement. Will I give you water from the rock? Who gives water from the rock? It's not you, it's God. He took the glory to himself and faced the consequence. You don't do that. You do not take the glory of God to yourself. God will never share his glory with any human being. Never. All glory to him alone. You just do the work. That is it. Don't allow the power, don't allow the knowledge, don't allow the wisdom, don't allow anything to control you. You are in control. Manage it, control it, put it under control. And then you are free. A man said, do not drink wine. Is the wine the problem? The problem is not the wine, because God gave us the knowledge to make wine, to make our heart merry and be happy. But the day wine begins to control you, then you become alcoholic. Become problem. You should be able to control wine, not wine controlling you. That is the understanding that the Torah is telling us. So, the antidote to many of the less desirable character traits is represented, for example, in Matzah, just what we just the festival we just finished not long ago, or the lack of hametz. Matzah and hametz are not only the opposite in the physical sense, and they are also opposite in the spiritual sense, in the spiritual way, not only in the physical way. These are one of the things that is very, very, like many things is the opposite. But this one are the same, both in physical and in the spiritual. The matzah is a flat without any honor. It doesn't taste anything, right? The matzah has almost no taste, and therefore one has no physical desire to eat it. No taste, nothing. It's a what? It's a poor man food. A poor man food has no, there is no any honor in it, right? There's no any desire to, hey, yeah, I want to have it, my food is, no. Masa is called a poor man bread. There is no jealousy here, as compared to the rich man bread, where a fight can break out over who gets the largest piece or not. Oh, this is my part, is the big part of the cake. This is the big part of the pie that I know. In the Masa, they will say, please, can you give me the small tiny one because it has no taste? You see? So that is the kind of thing that the Holy One, blessed be, is telling us. Be able to be humble yourself before Him. Taking the knowledge, the wisdom, everything that He has given you under your control and using it for the benefit of Him and of yourself and of the society. The Tzaraat is a result of jealousy, of desire, of wanting honor. I'm always after honor. I can do anything, I don't care. Kill, slaughter, destroy, just for me to be honored. Why that? Wait. Be patient. Follow, and the honor will come. You don't pursue it. The more you pursue it, people don't even understand some simple things. The more you pursue it, the more you run. No? Okay, I said, but you running away, okay, I will allow you to catch me. The more you okay. But when you are calm, you're simple. Right? The honor is okay. I wait there. The honor wait. I'm just so to say. You don't pursue the honor stay there. You to stay here. Then the honor will be thinking, this man not pursuing me. Or every other human being pursue me. But this guy or this woman is not pursuing me. What is going on? This one is different. Let me do what? Come closer to see. Then the honor come closer. You see, you are done. What is going on? They come closer again. You didn't do that. No, this guy. I'll just go. I'll throw myself on him or on her. That is the idea. If you look at it from that point, a woman doesn't like a man. For example, the man pursue. The man got to run. Say, I don't want to do anything with you. But the woman, because she thinks she's the most beautiful woman in the world, for example. And there's another man, because the woman is used to men pursuing after her every time. She decides. She's the boss. And there's another man. He didn't want. She do everything. She pay. She do everything. She dress up fine. The man doesn't even look. What is going on? She went and buy the job or the jador, buy all the expensive perfume, put everything. The man, no, there's something that is wrong. She went again and buy the most expensive clothes, all those Italian brand, No. Okay, I want to know what is the secret of this man. Because the woman now developed interest that is something, that is this man, that is different from other man that pursue after me there. So that you want to say, because you know what? I throw myself on you. If you look at it from that perspective, I'm telling you, you see that honor will come to you. Don't pursue things by all means. Relax. Be simple. He will come after you. Not you after them. That is the reverse. They call it reverse psychology. That is it. Reverse psychology. You use it to get what you want easily. It's simple. So, this morning, this is just what I want us to understand as we enter into the new month of year, and also to see this perspective, this point in our 21st century understanding. Where in those areas of my life that I might be having this issue, of jealousy, of desires, and of pursuing to honor. Now I want to reverse it. I want to just be myself. I want to control, any jealousy I might have in my life. I want to control any negative desire I might have in my life, and I want to I will stop pursuing after honor. I like the honor to pursue me, because it is your work that shows your honor. I'm telling you, when you begin to do what is good, the honor will come. When you begin to act positively, the honor will come. There is no two way about it. It will come. But when you are not doing what is right, of course the honor will run away, because nobody wants to be with someone who doesn't have an honor, right? Because he's doing what is wrong. So therefore, the Parashot, Tazria, and Metzora teaching us a lot of very interesting things that we can inculcate in our life and make our life better. Parashot, Tazria, and Metzora, jealousy, desire, and the pursuit of honor. May God give us understanding and blessing for us to be able to positively use this word positively in our life. Shabbat shalom.